Here we're going to solve for x. Solve absolute value of 2 minus x over 4 minus 3 greater or equal to 1. By the way, the solution to this problem is already posted in the YouTube channel under this link. You can go back and review them again. The first step is to isolate the absolute value. That's what you do first. You isolate the absolute value. And I want to add 3 to both sides of this inequality. So I would get absolute value of 2 minus x over 4 is greater or equal to 4. Okay? Now I want to recall absolute value of x is greater or equal to a number. I'm going to call it a. If this is 0 here, and if this is a, and this is minus a, absolute value of x is greater or equal to a means what? X is a distance from 0. In other words, you want to know, you want to find all the numbers that are larger than a units away from 0. All the numbers that are larger than a units away from 0. So let's pick what numbers are larger than a units away from 0. Looks like all the numbers to the right of a would be larger than a units away from 0. And also all the numbers to the left of negative a are larger than a units away from 0. But we also want to include negative a and positive a also. So I could use brackets or fill out the hole here to include the endpoints. So that's what it means. When I say absolute value of x is greater than a number, means all the numbers that are larger than that many units away from 0. By looking at this, we can easily translate this absolute value inequality into an inequality without absolute value. Because what that really means is two regions we're talking about. X is greater or equal to a, or x is less than or equal to minus a. That's exactly what that means. So that's all I have to do now is to translate this into those two regions. My a is 4. My a is 4. So the two regions I want to look at is 4. Something is greater or equal to 4. And some region is less than or equal to negative 4. Now instead of x, what I have to do is to put that expression. Because my x right here now is this whole expression. This is my x. So instead of writing x here, well, if I put this, that would be 2 minus x over 4. All the numbers that are greater than a, all the numbers that are less than, right? This means that all the x that are less than this present this region, right? It's okay. So I'm using the same thing. So instead of x, I'm just using 2 minus x over 4. Instead of a, I'm using 4. So translating this into these two regions, I should put or in between it because I'm going to union these two sets. So it's a good idea to go back to the basics. Just instead of the expression, just use x. Instead of this number here, use a. So understand what that means. Absolute value of x is greater than a number means all the numbers larger than a units from 0. So we do all the numbers to the right of a and less than minus a and write the inequality for that and then change this expression to x. Now that's all I have to do is just solve for these two to find my solution. So let's do that. Here I can subtract 2. If I subtract 2 from both sides of the inequality here, what do I get? I would get minus x over 4 greater or equal to 2. To solve for x, I can multiply both sides of the inequality by what? Not 2, negative 4, right? Because also I want to get rid of the negative. So if I multiply both sides of the inequality by negative 4, When you do that, you have to change the direction of inequality, remember? If I multiply by negative, then I need to change the direction of inequality to its opposite direction. I'm multiplying both sides of the equation by negative 4 over 1, not the equation, inequality. And then I would get minus x over 4 left-hand side into here. So x would be less than or equal to negative 8, right? And that actually would be this region here. We just found this region here. That's the region we found. We found this A, this point is negative 8. That's how I figure what would be the solution to the other side. I can subtract 2 from both sides of the inequality. If I do that, then see what I get. I would get minus 6 greater or equal to minus x over 4. How do you solve for x? Multiply both sides of the inequality by negative 4. When I do that, I have to change the direction of inequality. So it would be negative 4 over 1. On the left-hand side, I get minus 6. Here I have minus x over 4. So here I get x greater or equal to 24, right? And that is this number here, really. So if I would graph this, I can see the solutions. I can graph the solutions. This is 0. This is negative 8 now. We figure at this point is negative 8 for our problem. And this is 24. I'm going to include the endpoints here. All the number to the right of 24, that corresponds to this region here we found. And then all the number to the left of negative 8, that corresponds to this other region we found, or the solution, 4. So I want to write this in interval notation, brackets 24, okay, comma, infinity, right? Because that would be correspond to this region here, right? Now I'm going to put union or. How do you write this one? That would be brackets, right? Negative 8, comma, very good, negative infinity. Good job. That's how you would write this in interval notation.